Hello, and welcome back to Speak Easy with Us, the podcast that helps you speak English confidently and naturally. I'm your host, Zia.
And I'm Alec. We're so glad you could join us today. So, Zia, what's our topic for today's episode?
Today, we're tackling something that makes many people nervous, even native speakers: small talk. We're going to give you some great tips on how to have small talk that doesn't feel awkward at all.
That's right. By the end of this episode, you'll have the tools to start and maintain a friendly, casual conversation with anyone. Let's get into it. So, Zia, first things first. Why do you think so many people find small talk so difficult? I mean, I even get nervous sometimes.
I think it's the pressure, the fear of awkward silence or saying the wrong thing. You're standing there with a new person and your brain just goes blank. You have to find some common ground fast.
Right, that pressure to perform. It's like a mini interview you didn't prepare for. And that blank feeling is the worst.
Exactly. But it doesn't have to be that way. I think the key is to shift your mindset. It's not a test. It's just a way to connect with another person for a brief moment. You're not trying to become best friends in 5 minutes.
A brief moment. I like that framing. It takes the stakes down. So let's talk strategy. What are some safe go-to topics for breaking the ice?
Well, the classics are classics for a reason. You can't go wrong with things related to your shared situation. If you're at a conference, you could ask, which speaker have you enjoyed so far? If you're at a party, how do you know the host? It's an instant connection.
The shared context. That's a great starting point because you already have one thing in common. What about more general topics if you're, say, waiting in line for coffee?
General topics are great too. You can ask about their weekend. A simple, got any exciting plans for the weekend works wonders. Or you could talk about popular culture, like a new movie or a big sports game. Did you catch the game last night? That ending was wild.
Yeah, things that most people might have an opinion on. It's light and low pressure.
Totally. It's also important to pay attention to your body language. You want to seem open and friendly. So make eye contact, offer a small smile, don't cross your arms. It signals that you're happy to chat.
That's such an important point. Nonverbal cues speak volumes. I think where people often get into trouble, though, is when they accidentally ask something that's too personal too quickly.
Oh, definitely. You want to avoid what I call the danger zones when you first meet someone. Things like politics, religion, relationship status, or how much money someone makes. That can make things really uncomfortable fast.
Right. It can feel like an interrogation. You really have to read the room on those topics. It's better to stay on neutral ground until you know the person better.
That's a really important list to remember. I'd also add health issues to that list. You never want to ask someone about a health condition unless they bring it up first. It's very personal.
And what if you accidentally ask an awkward question and you can see the other person is uncomfortable? What do you do then?
An excellent point, Alec. Health is deeply personal, and it's a topic that can make people feel vulnerable. It's always best to let the other person lead if they want to talk about it.
That's a great question. The best thing to do is pivot, acknowledge it briefly, and change the subject smoothly. You could say, "Oh, sorry, that was a bit random. Anyway, I was just thinking about," and then introduce a new, lighter topic, like the weather. Never underestimate the power of talking about the weather.
It's true, it's the universal safe topic. So we've talked about what to say, but how you say it is just as important. You mentioned before we started that open-ended questions are a game changer.
Absolutely a game changer. For our listeners, an open-ended question is one that can't be answered with a simple yes or no. It encourages the other person to talk more.
Right. So instead of asking, are you having a good time, which just gets a yes,
And then an awkward silence.
you could ask, what's been the highlight of your evening so far? It prompts them to share an experience.
Exactly. Instead of, do you like your job, which is a yes-no question, you can ask, what's the most interesting part of your job? It invites them to tell a story and you learn something about them.
I love that. It shows you're actually interested in their answer. I've also heard of a helpful memory tool called FORM, F-O-R-M. It stands for Family, Occupation, Recreation, and Motivation. It's a good mental checklist for finding topics.
Oh, that's a good one. Let's break that down. So, F for family, you have to be careful there, right?
For sure, you wouldn't ask, "Are you married?" Instead, you could ask something more general, like, "Are you originally from the city?" It lets them share as much or as little as they want about their background.
Good distinction. O for occupation, we've talked about that. What about R for recreation?
Recreation is just hobbies and fun stuff. What do you like to do when you're not working? Or, "I saw you have a cool band t-shirt on. Are you a big music fan?" It connects to their interests.
Connecting to interests is huge. And M for motivation, that sounds a bit deep for small talk.
It can be, but you can keep it light. It's about passions or dreams. You could ask something like, "Are you working on any exciting personal projects?" Or, "What are you looking forward to this summer?" It's positive and forward-looking.
I like that. It moves beyond just the basic facts and gets into what excites people. Okay, so we started the conversation, we've kept it going, but what about when it's time to leave? The graceful exit.
That FORM acronym is a great tool, but all these great questions are useless if you're not actually listening to the answers. That brings us to a crucial skill: active listening.
The graceful exit. It's an art form. The key is to be polite and give a clear reason. You can say something like, "Well, it was so nice talking to you. I'm going to go grab another drink before the line gets too long."
Simple, polite, and effective. Or you can say, "I really enjoyed our chat, but I promised I'd say hello to a friend over there. Maybe I'll see you around later." It leaves things on a positive note.
Exactly. The most important thing in all of this, and we've touched on it a bit, is to be a good listener. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Actually listen to what they're saying. Show genuine interest.
hmm People love to talk about themselves, so if you just listen, nod, and ask thoughtful follow-up questions, you're already halfway there.
Absolutely. It takes the pressure off you to be this brilliant, witty entertainer. Just be curious. That's the real secret to small talk that doesn't feel small. It makes the other person feel seen and valued.
On the same page with that. When you're genuinely curious, it's not a chore anymore. It's an opportunity. And sometimes you find you have a really cool connection with someone. You might even discover it's a small world.
You never know, and that's the fun of it.
All right, that was a great chat, full of useful tips. Now, as we always do on Speak Easy with us, let's break down some of the useful phrases and idioms we used. Alec, what's our first one?
Our first phrase is to break the ice. We use this a lot. When you break the ice, you say or do something to make people feel more relaxed and comfortable in a social situation, especially when they don't know each other. It's like breaking through a frozen, silent surface.
That's a great way to visualize it. So, it's about starting a conversation and getting past that initial awkwardness. For example, at the start of a workshop, the instructor might ask everyone to share a fun fact about themselves. That's an icebreaker activity designed to break the ice.
Exactly. Okay, what's next on our list?
Next up is read the room. We said it's important to read the room before talking about sensitive topics. This means you need to be observant and understand the general mood, attitude, and feelings of the people you're with.
Right. It's about social awareness. If you walk into a meeting and everyone looks very serious and stressed, you can read the room and know that it's probably not a good time to tell a joke. You sense the atmosphere and adjust your behavior accordingly.
Precisely. It's a really useful social skill. Okay, our third phrase was one I used to agree with you. I said, "We're on the same page." What does that mean, Alec?
When people are on the same page, it means they are in agreement or have the same understanding about something. Imagine you and a friend are reading the same book. If you're on the same page, you're at the same point in the story. It's the same in conversation. You share the same perspective.
Love that analogy. So in our conversation, I was signaling that I agreed with you completely. In a work context, a manager might say, "Before we start, I want to review the plan to make sure we're all on the same page."
Perfect. And our last one was a fun one you slipped in at the end. It's a small world.
Yes, this is a wonderful expression. You say it's a small world when you are surprised to discover an unexpected connection with someone. For example, you're traveling in Japan and you meet a stranger who, it turns out, lives on the very same street as you back home in Canada. You'd say, "No way, it's a small world."
It's that feeling of happy surprise and connection. So there you have it. Break the ice, read the room, on the same page, and it's a small world. 4 fantastic phrases to make your English sound more natural.
Now it's your turn to practice. We call this Speak with Us. Here is your scenario for today.
Imagine you are in an elevator with a coworker you don't know very well. You'll be in there for another minute. It's a bit quiet. What could you say to break the ice?
Pause the podcast and think of an open-ended question you could ask. Try to use a safe, neutral topic. Go ahead, give it a try.
And that's our time for today. We hope this episode helps you feel more confident about making small talk. Remember, it's just about making a simple human connection.
It really is. Thanks so much for listening to Speak Easy with us. Join us next time for more tips on speaking English with confidence. Bye for now.
Goodbye, everyone.